and good morning. This morning we're talking about another adapter kit that we've developed. Now this adapter kit is for the BMW 53BZ transmission, which you would find in BMW 335i petrols. The reason why this is so exciting is because you can get this transmission in America. Hooray! So lots of American customers contact me and say, we want your adapter kit, we can't get the diesel gearboxes. So what we've done is designed it around a strong petrol gearbox, which is the 53BZ. Right, let me show you the kit briefly. So obviously crankshaft, I can't get my words out today. Flywheel, two-piece as usual, and the difference is, obviously, as you can see, it has an outie rather than an innie. So normally there'd be a bearing in there which your spigot shaft would go into, but instead it has a male piece that goes into the male spline on the BM box. It's the weirdest thing ever. Let's just go over and I'll show you what that looks like. And also at the same time, I'll take the adapter plate and I'll show you how that fits on. These are obviously all the parts that are included in the kit. There we go. Steel, 12mm, and then electroplated. Very, very nice indeed. Come on then. Excuse the mess, we're having a bit of a shuffle round. There's a new machine coming and everything is getting uprooted. Anyway, right, so you can see I've already screwed the two dowels in. They're kind of dowels, studs, and they do a few different jobs. The bottom section here is obviously a dowel. Right, so locate those into the dowel holes, as you can see. Just there. Oh, this is not a good day. Locate them into the dowel holes here, as you can see. Now obviously this would be mounted to your engine when you'd be doing this. But yeah, and then you have the actual bolts. Now the very important thing is about the bolts. What you want to do is, you want to basically eye them up next to the bolt hole here, like this. Just over here. You want to eye them up literally next to the bolt hole so that there's about 10mm of thread going in. Right, so that would be the correct bolt for there. As you can see, it would go in 10mm. I sometimes go around them first with the plate off, put all the bolts in, you know, and work it out. Nice and straightforward. Anyway, so put your bolts in, and the thing that we're obviously trying to avoid is you don't want the bolt to come right through and out the back, because if the bolt does do that, then it's going to push the adapter plate and bend it. So obviously choose the bolts carefully. You can see here what I was talking about with that, with the input shaft. Normally this would be a male fitting sticking out, and on here it actually has a roller bearing in the end. It's the most bizarre invention ever. And also, not only is it bizarre, it's awkward. So normally with the conventional style, it's really quite easy to line it up. Whereas on these, you've got to really make sure your clutch disc is central before you attempt to connect your gearbox to it. Because if it's not, that will not go in. They are a pig to line up. So just be warned, it's not that something doesn't fit, it's that that really needs to be lined up. And yes, there is no alignment tool, so you're going to have to do it by eye or measure it, make something. That's my advice. I just basically did 2 attempts and managed to get it in. Anyway, so you put all your bolts in, and as usual with any of these adapter kits, you need to make a mark on the side of here, just where the starter is, look. So you want to put your marks here, and like I've shown on the other videos, you're going to cut a small section out of here to allow for the starter motor's nose to clear the gearbox. I use a hole saw. It's the easiest way, makes a really nice neat cut. Something maybe like a 2-inch hole saw is absolutely fine. It just literally wants to be a small cut, sort of like an arc there. Obviously you can trial fit it before you go and try and put this all in your car. Right, something that I'd just like to add as well. The 53BZ transmission, like this one, it has quite a narrow casing, so everything's quite tight in here. So there is one little tiny mod. So when you're doing your starter motor cutout, also you see this little piece of webbing internally here. You can see this tiny, tiny little mark there. Well, that is where the gearbox, when it's been assembled, the actual clutch has caught that inner section. So I've left it like this to show you so you can see how minor it is. When you cut your starter motor cutout, just grind, you know, take it back sort of maybe 20 mil, just take that little bit of webbing out. It's the same all the way around. There's like one there, one there. There's none on the tops, it's just those two, I think. And then your clutch will clear. Because if you don't, it'll make it clear themselves. So this is the 53BZ transmission. Like I said, as found in BMW 335i manual 6-speed cars. I think they're E90, 91, 92. Not a massive BMW expert, but it's that shape anyway. And this in the UK costs about 600 quid. You're not going to get a stronger transmission, like, period, for that kind of money that is that readily available. So yeah, America, Europe, England, you can get these quite easily. Right, so I think that pretty much concludes it. Everything else is the same as normal. You use the normal release bearing, you get everything in the kit, the bolts, etc. I'm not going to put all this together because it's really quite self-explanatory, but that cutout, make sure the bolts go in the right holes. Sachs Racing pressure plate is going to give you 600 horsepower of clamping force. So back onto the kit then. Sachs Racing cover, that's what we supply with every kit. 600 horsepower rated. You don't need a horrible half ceramic paddle clutch that's going to bite and be absolutely nasty. You got a nice sprung organic drive plate, which is absolutely awesome. You get normal clutch pedal, you know, which you're not going to get with a paddle. You know, if somebody's selling you a clutch and for say up to 600 horsepower they're saying it needs a paddle, that means they're using a cheap cover that doesn't have the clamp load. And all you're going to end up with is something that you can't drive on the road. Well, you won't comfortably drive it on the road. As you're trying to let your clutch out, it'll literally be grabbing. You know, you won't have that bite point. You won't be able to hold it on a hill. It'll be on its way trying to go. So cheap clutches are just crap. Go for something strong, then you can use a normal drive plate, which actually drives like a normal car. On the obvious negative side, you're going to have a heavy pedal, but we do boosters, so you can have a vacuum operated booster that helps you with that, so you can have the best of both worlds if you want to. I run mine without a booster, and I'm not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger. So anyway, that's pretty much the top and bottom of the kit. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see anything about our other adapter kits or any of our other stuff, have a look on the other videos. We're always bringing something out for the 606. If you've got anything that you'd like making, any suggestions or anything that's custom, drop us an email. See you later.